Good evening and welcome to the show. No one would argue that Apple has become a household name. People line up for hours waiting for the newest Apple product, and nearly everyone recognizes the face of Steve Jobs. But what do we really know about the company? Today we're here to talk about the legacy of the company's iconic leader Steve Jobs, its new leadership, and the bright future ahead of it. My name is Bethany, and tonight I will be talking about the impact that Steve Jobs has made on Apple.
My name is Tim, and I will be discussing the future of Apple with Tim Cook as CEO.
My name is Jeff, and I will be sharing some of the latest technology developed by Apple. But first, let's hear from Bethany.
Thank you, Jeff. 3 years ago last month, Steve Jobs, founder of Apple, passed away, but he changed the world so profoundly that he will never be forgotten. An industry giant, Jobs made Apple one of the biggest technology companies in the world and the world's most valuable brand, according to the Omnicom Group's Best Global Brands report in 2013. What made Steve Jobs such an astounding success, and what will make his legacy endure for generations to come? Jobs helped found Apple in 1976, but less than 10 years later, he resigned from the company, with the helping hands of the board of the directors half pushing him out the door. His power struggles and resignation may have left Jobs a little bitter, but he didn't let that stop him from innovating elsewhere and leaving his mark on other industries. That same year, he founded Next, which was eventually purchased by Apple and played a big role in developing Apple product operating systems. He also acquired the division of Lucasfilm that would eventually become Pixar, helping launch the company to phenomenal success. Everywhere he went, Jobs was driven and innovative, and he left his fingerprint on industry after industry. But the company he influenced the most was, of course, Apple itself. He returned to the company in 1996 and brought the struggling company back to profitability and beyond. He brought his intense focus and even more intense managerial style to bear on the company and released product after phenomenal product: iPods, iTunes, iPhones, and iPads, to name a few. Jobs believed in organizing a company so that every employee knew the company's goals and core ideas, and that, combined with wildly successful products and creative ad campaigns, launched Apple to the top, and that too is what Jobs will be remembered for. Unlike the faceless leadership of so many major corporations, Steve Jobs is an enduring image of Apple. He is intimately tied to the company forever, and he will never be forgotten. It looks like Tim Cook is well on his way to creating his own lasting legacy at Apple, doesn't it, Tim? Do you want to tell us a little more about that?
Yes, Bethany, thank you. Tim Cook is certainly carving out a name for himself among current CEOs in the Fortune 500. Named CEO of Apple Inc. in August of 2011, Tim Cook had some big shoes to fill. Not only was Steve Jobs leaving behind a great legacy, Apple was one of only 2 companies in the world that were valued at over $300 billion. Now at the age of 54, Tim Cook stands as the leader of the world's most valuable company. Almost 4 years after being named CEO, Tim Cook has led Apple to a market value of just over $634 billion, more than doubling their value from 2011. Presently, to purchase Apple stock, investors would have to spend right around $100 per share. However, notable American billionaire investor Carl Icahn believes Apple stock is currently undervalued and is actually worth over $200 per share. If Apple stock were to actually reach that price, the brand would become the world's first trillion-dollar company. This would mean that Apple would have to almost double in value yet again. Currently, the iPad and the iPhone generate over 70% of Apple's revenue. Tim Cook is looking to future Apple products to make sure that the company stays ahead of the technological curve. In a recent appearance on The Charlie Rose Show, Tim Cook said that the hardest decisions Apple makes are the things not to work on. When asked about television, Tim Cook responded by saying TV is an area that Apple has great interest in, but if we were really honest, TV is stuck in the 1970s. However, with a consumer base of over 20 million users, Apple TV is an area of growing strength for the company. Will Apple reach a value of over $1 trillion while Tim Cook is CEO? Only time will tell. What is for certain is that Tim Cook has taken a great company and made it even better. He has doubled Apple's value in less than 4 years and is focusing the company on creating life-changing technology. And speaking of life-changing technology, now we're about to hear from Jeff about some future products from Apple. Jeff, do you have a favorite Apple product?
Thanks, Tim. Yes, my favorite Apple product is the iPhone. Get ready to leave your wallet behind with Apple Pay. It is free to download app that will be used to buy anything at a store with an iPhone 6 Plus and iOS 8.1. What they do is simply wave an iPhone above the store's NFC reader that will surface the customer's lead credit card. There is no need to pull out your credit card, but don't leave your wallet or purse behind quite yet. Smaller merchants in particular aren't likely to have the necessary equipment right away. Bigger chains including Macy's, McDonald's, Subway, and Whole Foods are expected to accept Apple Pay. With the store's sensory on your phone that can read your fingerprints, it will be a safer way to buy supplies. There is a substitute account number that is assigned when you sign up with Apple Pay. Store clerks can get that instead of your real credit card number. With that, there is a verification code that is created on each transaction. If you're worried if hackers can get the substitute number, they won't be able to generate the verification code without having your profession of your phone. So don't lose your phone and keep it at all times. There are reviews on Apple Pay and everyone's giving it a thumbs up. People like the convenience of paying with their phone instead of getting out with the wallet and digging through their purse. All they have to do is scan with their phone. Many people never forget their phones, but they will forget their wallets. Bethany, do you think you will use Apple Pay when it comes out?
You know, Jeff, I like the idea. Security is pretty important, and it seems like Apple Pay really has that figured out. Be sure to check out apple.com for more information about upcoming current products as we anticipate a bright future for Apple.